I've been waiting way too long. Yeah, I've been down here trying to get it. Yeah, I've been waiting way too long.
This is the video for Geometry 7.5. We're starting trigonometry for right triangles. First, we're going to look at the tangent ratio. A trigonometric ratio is the ratio of the lengths of the two sides in a right triangle. So there are three trig ratios that we're going to be looking at. This video, we're just looking at the first ratio, which is the tangent ratio, which is the ratio of the lengths of the legs in a right triangle. So tangent is actually going to be, the tangent of an angle is going to be equal to the length of the opposite side over the length of the adjacent side. So in this triangle, the tangent of angle A is going to be equal to BC over CA. Okay, so if this is angle A, this is opposite, and this side is adjacent. Notice that I'm not using the hypotenuse because technically the hypotenuse is adjacent to angle A, but it's specifically called the hypotenuse, and that's not what I mean here when I say adjacent. So if I know what the angle measure is, then I would plug that in here. And the tangent can be done in the calculator. Okay, so we're going to have to use our calculators to solve these equations. So let's look at an example. So I have a right triangle here, and I know the lengths of the triangle. What we're going to do here is we're going to find the tangent of the two acute angles. What are the acute angles? X and Z. Why are they acute? Because they add up to 90, and so neither of them can be 90 or greater than 90. So the tangent of angle X is going to be equal to opposite, which is 80, over adjacent, which is 18. Again, we don't want to use the hypotenuse. So then I would simplify 80 over 18. I could divide by 2 and get 40 over 9. And then if necessary, you can simplify that to be 4.44, and that is repeated. But I would also accept 40 over 9. Now we're going to look at the tangent of angle Z because it's the other acute angle. It's going to be equal to opposite, which is 18, over adjacent, which is 80. So notice that those are reciprocals. The tangent of X is the reciprocal of the tangent of Z. 18 over 80 is going to be 9 over 40, which is equal to 0.2250. That is the exact answer. That's a nice decimal there. So that's just the answer for the tangent of the angle. Now, in this example, we are actually going to find the value of X. So we're going to find the leg in this triangle. Now, if we had another value, if we had the hypotenuse, we could use Pythagorean theorem, but we don't. So instead, I'm going to use tangent. So the tangent of 32, which this is a value, okay, there's a value for the tangent of 32, something our calculator would tell us, is going to be equal to 11 over X. So now we need to solve for X. Now notice that X is in the denominator. So to solve for X, the first thing we're going to actually do is we're going to multiply by X so that it's not in the denominator anymore. We need to do that on both sides. So now we have X times the tangent of 32. Remember, this is a value, equals 11. Now I can solve for X by dividing by the tangent of 32. You don't split up the tangent of 32 because that's one value. So I'm going to divide 11 by the tangent of 32, and then I'm going to put that in my calculator, and my calculator is going to tell me what 11 divided by the tan of 32 is. And I would recommend that you put this in the calculator all in one step. Don't find the tangent of 32 and then divide 11 by that, because it's not going to give you the best answer. It's not going to give you the most accurate answer. So it's about, we can go ahead and round this, 17.6. So that would be the leg of that triangle. Our last example here, we're going to find the height of this triangle. So we're going to use the tangent of the angle 70 degrees. Now I want to remind you, You can find the measure of this angle. That would be 20 degrees, just in case you needed to use that instead of the 70. And so it's going to be equal to, the tangent is going to be equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So I want to solve for h. So this is pretty easy. I'm just going to multiply by 40 on both sides. So 40 times the tangent of 70, which is one value, equals h. And again, I'm going to put this in my calculator in one step, and it is going to tell me the answer. So this is about 109.9. And I will be sure to tell you on an assignment what you need to round to when you're solving these, because you will have to round, because again, you're going to have to just put this in your calculator to see what it is. So just as a reminder, the tangent of any angle, any acute angle in a right triangle is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. In the next video, we'll talk about the other two ratios.
I've been waiting way too long. Yeah.